Hold on a second. Wait a goddamn minute. You're
What?
live.
We're in?
Check it now, bitches. Check that shit out now.
I see an Xbox ad. Are
I
we in?
see. I think we're in. I think
Hey!
we're in. I think we're in.
Okay, hold on. Let me hit record on my end. Okay, hold on. Record. Where did my record button go? Okay.
Varun Krishan
So,
saying finally. Gary Sherman saying churros. Sergio saying it's live.
it
Campeones.
worked. Okay, hold on. So, okay, we are recording on my end. So, let's do it. Let's roll. You go. You count us in.
Counting us in for the very first time live. This is 3, 2, 1. ¿Qué pasa, campeones? Sorry we're late, but welcome to a Churros y Tacticas podcast. This is the very first live vidcast between Kiyan and myself. Very happy to be here. Sorry for the delay, folks. If the real video ever does see the light of day, you'll see that for the past good, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so, I myself have been struggling to get us live on the air. So my apologies and my gratitude as well for those of you that have been patiently waiting, blowing up the chat. I could see you guys coming through, but I had messed a little certain something up. That is all behind us now because we are live, folks. We are live and direct. Churros for the very first time. Kiyan, what's going on, my man? And again, thank you for all of our loyal followers who are, of course, joining us on the chat. And we're going to be paying a whole lot of attention to you. We're going to be discussing the Barça Valladolid. What's good, folks?
This is great. I feel like this is a new era. It's a new chapter in our lives of YouTube Live. I've never done it like this before. I've done one YouTube Live on my own YouTube channel, but never with somebody else. And it's cool just to have people here on the chat. I mean, it's not too dissimilar from Zoom, but I mean, YouTube is just kind of like, I don't know, feels legit. I feel like we're legit. So, by the way, great tactic, masterstroke from you, genius, to delay the Monday recording, looking at the Barca schedule and looking at when it is that you guys play Valladolid to make sure that you get to do the intro. Because if we had done this Monday, it would have been toast. It would have been, you would have gone into a coma from all the hours I would have flame thrown at you.
Well, listen, you were so gracious to even let me do my own Churros y Tácticas podcast. So, I mean, thank you for doing that on a Valencia Barça day or Barça Valencia day as well, where, the result didn't necessarily go our way. And I was all alone, man. I was doing the R's all by myself, reluctantly so. And if you couldn't tell, then if you're a regular listener, you could probably tell that I was a little bit more reserved, a little bit quieter today on ours. As you can tell, I am wearing a big old North Pole style jacket, a Canadian or Nova Scotia style jacket. No, but you're from Ontario style jacket.
Wait, is that North Face?
No,
What
it's
kind of
not.
jacket is that? What brand
No,
is that?
this is a good old Abercrombie and Fitch, my friend.
Oh, okay. Wow. Very nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
the posh style.
So that's
But
where that churros money is going.
that's where the churros money. This is very old. My ex-girlfriend bought me this jacket, and I've been with my wife for 11 years. We've been 11 years together. So this was my girlfriend before I met my wife. That's how old this jacket is. It's at least 13 years old.
Wow.
Yes. Still in tip-top shape.
So,
hey, quality. Abercrombie. Sponsor Churros, baby. But anyways, the reason why I'm a little bit reserved today is because, yes, I am sitting outside, seeing as it's almost 12:30 a.m. Like I said, this is a late one tonight. But, yeah, I did see this on the calendar, Kiyan, and I did want to, try to get our first live Churros up and running on a day that could maybe we could have something to celebrate and something to be happy about, the both of us, of course, and something to keep us warm, because this alone is not going to do the trick.
I'm glad everything worked out. This weekend was so, like, I kind of told you this on WhatsApp. I was like living in a cave almost, because we went away on a cottage. The internet was so bad that I just didn't like the time that I initially thought I was going to record with you, which was kind of after the Barca game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone was taking their naps, so the kids were napping, and everyone else was just like having quiet time. And there's nowhere I could have recorded that would have done it in a way that everyone else wouldn't have woken up. And if I had done it outside, well, we had just gotten like a pile of snow and it was freezing. It just wasn't going to happen. I ended up hotspotting my phone to watch a couple games, but
Wow.
I came back and just wouldn't have worked no matter what. So I'm glad you did the solo cast. Um,
It was fun.
we're obviously on the back. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm sure it was good. And you did a video, right? It was a video?
I did. No, I did a video. It's because I couldn't figure out how I could get the audio going.
Oh,
Are you?
okay. See,
Oh, sorry. I was
if
watching
I'm not
you.
there, all the churros fall apart.
I was watching you on the delay screen. I was like, "Why is Kiyan talking while I'm trying to talk?" But it was the delay.
Yeah, you have to not look at that.
No.
I put that aside. I put that away so that doesn't confuse me. I put it away. I'm just looking at the Skype,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I can still see the chat on my. I have it organized a certain way. So we
Me
are
too.
on the back of Barca and Valladolid, which was a bloodbath. This is entitled the Valladolid Barca post game show. I don't know how much of it, like how much we can talk about this game. Please enlighten me. Like what happened here? Are Barca back? Cruyff bouncing in his grave, so
Shut
happy.
up. Shut up.
Koeman's
How do you?
been proving some versatility there
Hey,
with a change of tactics, missing
come on.
wingers, going with three at the back,
Come on.
wide wing backs.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it went well. Thank you, Kiyan. And that's exactly the point that I was going to make with all the heat. And I think, for most part, or for a fair part, rightfully so, that Koeman has been getting for this, 4-2-3-1 formation that is just simply not working out for him or the team for that matter at the moment. Give credit where it is due. There's too much, I feel kind of, like I almost feel stupid bringing this up because what else do you expect from Twitter other than just extreme positions on one end or the other. But my point here being is give credit where it is due. I feel the something that I always did with Valverde, and I think in generally both you and I and others as well try to partake into kind of neutral or fair and balanced Fox News for you there, fair and balanced kind of analysis on coaches, and the same has to be said for Koeman, for all the, like I said, the heat that he's been getting. This what would you call it, Kiyan? Was it a 3-5-2 or was it a 3-6-1? I mean, with Braithwaite and Messi up top, we all know that Messi obviously can track back and do whatever it is that he pleases. So it was, whatever the formation was, I think it was a clear improvement of what we had seen today. I think that it even stunned Sergio Gonzalez, by the Leeds manager, who normally doesn't necessarily set up with a 4-4-2 formation or likes to high press more, but in this case was pushed back and had to adapt his formation as well. And really, for me, Barca looked relatively comfortable from the start. I guess at this point in time, I'm sort of, from what we have seen, and kind of the flashes of brilliance that never seem to prolong for a good duration of time, let alone the entire match. This, we have to say, was probably one of the best matches of the season so far. One where from pretty much the beginning until the end, Barca seemed in control. And if you talk about Cruyffism and Cruyff, applauding from the world beyond, at least he would have been doing this today, I think, looking at his disciple or an old student of his, that is Ronald Koeman, because Koeman did manage to control the game. It might not be in the most Cruyffist of tactics or ways, but another way. Look, if even I said in the first year of Valverde, when he was heavily being criticized for using a 4-4-2 formation, at least it was allowed Barca to control the game. It was a more pragmatic style, but it allowed Barca to control the game and become therefore La Liga champions in a more dominant, authoritative way. Pragmatic but authoritative. Well, this way, with this 4-3 or excuse me, 4-5 or 4-6-1, 4-5-2. I felt that we were more in control than we ever had been, and I felt that the players looked, generally speaking, very comfortable, very happy, comfortable in their skin. They were feeling it. Messi was feeling it. Pedri was feeling it. De Jong was feeling it. Des was feeling it. Pjanic was feeling it. Alba was there. Braithwaite was feeling it. All in all, yes, definitely a good performance. How far can we take it? How far can we, what can we expect next? That remains to be seen. We, of course, have to see a string of results or games like this in order to be really optimistic about a change having been taking place so far. But other than that, please allow me to be optimistic today, Kiyan. Yes.
Yeah, look, I thought this was Barcelona's best offensive performance, maybe after the Betis game earlier at the Camp Nou this season, the one against Villarreal at home. I think that was the first game of the season. That one was pretty good. Maybe since those two games, this was your best offensive performance. I mean, just like a sheer volume of really good chances. I mean, not just a volume of just half-assed chances, but like real chances. Even outside the 3 goals, all of which were great plays and great chances in and of themselves. Braithwaite had a great chance. Messi hit the post from inside the 6-yard box. And there was just a bunch of things happening in Valladolid's box, which they looked, to me, powerless to stop. So, and with regards to the formation, I think, but by the way, Google got it wrong. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, because I joined this game about 5 minutes late. I missed the first 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
And the way Google had it mapped out, because that's what I use. I use Google a lot of the time. So I'll search, like, if I just want to have the lineups next to me, like on a tab, I'll just go Barcelona versus Valladolid, and the first thing will be the Google like match center, and I click on that and it shows me the formation, who's playing and stuff.
Okay.
And Google had it mapped out like all out of whack. They had like Alba in the right central midfield, Pedri at left back, and I don't know what was going on. So I was like, I just need to watch this. This is so wrong.
Yeah.
So to me, it kind of like once you saw it unfold, it was like a 3-4-2-1, which I thought worked. I mean, I'd be interested. Yeah, so of that sort. I mean, it's very fluid, right? I mean, Messi's position is almost positionless. It's wherever his instinct tells him to go.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, it's hard to tell where Messi actually is. But you get my point. Like Dest and Alba wide and high, with good coverage from Mingueza, Araujo, and Langley. Pjanic and De Jong really controlling midfield, and Pedri awesome on the left hand side, combining with Alba, De Jong, Braithwaite. Awesome game from. I have a whole thing on Pedri that we should discuss, but I'd be curious to see if Koeman takes away from this. I mean, this was forced learning, right? You're missing Dembele, you're missing Fati. Who else were you missing in attack? I mean, Trincao didn't get on the field today. Griezmann didn't get on the field today.
I mean, that was
Trincao. Yeah. So. I'd just be curious to see if Koeman takes anything away from this. And like, maybe the 3-5-2, interesting. Maybe we'll implement it, because this is what I think. This is what happened. Barcelona just controlled the hell out of the ball because you had Pjanic, De Jong, Messi, Pedri, and those essentially those 4 together. Like, it was hard to take the ball off them. I mean, and they're all like Pjanic, Messi. The connection there was great. And again, Pedri's understanding, I thought in particular with Jordi Alba, is what unlocked a lot of kind of new openings for Barca in this game.
Yeah, listen, I think even the fact that you saw Koeman decide from the get-go not to use Busquets, not to use Coutinho, not to use Griezmann, and leave these 3 on the bench, and instead give way to players like Pjanic, to be them included in the starting 11. Of course, I have to say that name that keeps haunting, that keeps haunting Koeman in this case, and it keeps being mentioned. But this could have been an interesting game for Riqui Puig to have been out and gotten some minutes as well. The fact is that leaving out those, I think, kind of kind of household name PlayStation like names, your Coutinhos, your Griezmanns, your Busquets, leaving out those big players and giving way instead to more livelihood, more packing also, I guess, the midfield a little bit more. But Kiyan, last time I did this podcast after the Barça Valencia, I was very disheartened, and the reason being was that I felt that there was too much sort of packing the midfield. We're not seeing anything coming from the wingers. We were not seeing anything from the wingers at that point in time. And if anything, it felt that the front three were a disturbance to kind of allowing Messi to get into free space, a clean free space, receiving the ball cleanly and making something happen. Instead, it was always kind of, and we saw it in the beginning as well. That's why, I made a note here in the 15th minute where Frenkie de Jong is kind of, like there's this open play where Barça players are out on a fast break. They're clearly outnumbered by Valladolid defenders. Frenkie de Jong in this occasion had the ball and kind of has a chance, or a half-hearted chance, to kind of slot in a deadly pass and deadly cross, in this case to Messi, but doesn't, because obviously the box is so crowded with by the elite defenders. So instead he holds it back, opts for an extra pass, but it's like a half-hearted pass, is that chip into the box that never really amounts to nothing. And at that point I was thinking, oh boy, here we go again. Here we're seeing a team that is lacking in ideas, lacking in attitude, lacking in kind of even bravery to make a sort of a daring type of pass. So I was kind of, at that point in time, I have to, I'm not gonna lie, I was fearing the worst, and it wasn't until really the 20th something minute where Messi finds Lenglet for the 1-0 that I felt that Barça finally, it allowed them to open up and allowed all of the players to kind of relax as well and have more fun as well, and really take advantage of the system that was in place, kind of stretching the defense as well, allowing a player to enjoy more time on the ball, without getting kind of overwhelmed or suffocated by defenders as quickly, and it just, the passes were connecting well. I don't know. Players were just feeling it today. I'm seeing here Jeffrey talking about De Jong also had a free roll of sorts. That was definitely the case, Jeffrey. Well spotted as well. I mean, we saw De Jong go as far up as playing alongside of the fours, as well as tracking back to receive the ball, just making himself a lot more available, and also being a lot more, stepping up to the plate, man. Assuming his responsibility for the talent that he is. This is a player that came with a hefty price tag, that we were all very excited about, and so far he's had very solid games. He's very good games, but I feel that ever since Koeman sent him to the bench, what was it, like 2 or 3 matches ago, I feel that he rested a game, and I would, it was almost to expect that maybe he would have rested another game, but instead Koeman brought him back on, and ever since then I think that he's taken a step up into him as kind of a leader of a team, somebody that realizes the impact that he needs to have, that he can have on this team. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see that, to De Jong stepping into his role, and players like Busquets, Coutinho, and Griezmann rather, get pulled aside and say, hey, you know what, it's not really working. We're going to try a different formation. We're seeing that, our midfielders have, our Pedris, etc. are Pedri needs to start over Coutinho every single game at this point. He has taken over Coutinho in that hierarchy of midfielders that need to be given minutes. Pedri is a phenomenal player. I mean, if only for that thing, I will go over to Bartomeo's house and give him a kiss on his forehead just for signing Pedri, because man, we've got a player among our ranks who's only 17, 18 years old that is going to be with us, hopefully, God permitting, for the long run, as well as De Jong, as well as Dest. I thought that Dest, he's been getting so much shit, and I've been hating listening to the radio in particular, because I feel like he's one of those players that is just for one reason or another on the shit list of some of these journalists out there, these commentators. And today, man, what are you going to say about Dest other than him having a fantastic game and looking like the right back we want to have for the future. So, this is a game, yes, Kiyan, where I'm going to stick out my chest a little bit and give credit to the individual talents that this player, and that's one last thing, Kiyan, that you didn't hear on the last podcast I said. It's like, I cannot wrap my head around this team, that individually we've got great talents. And I mentioned Des, De Jong, Pedri, Messi, your obviously Ansu Dembele, who are not playing at the moment, but even Araujo, man, Mingueza, we're our talent, our defense is a shambles, yet individually these are looking like promising even defending talent. So I don't know if how far Koeman is going to take us. I don't know. I know that today I think I saw an improvement, a step in the right direction, and let's hopefully pick up some steam and we can carry this wave over to the shores and finish up in the top 4, and things not get any worse for now. That is really just all I'm hoping for, Kiyan. There's a lot in what I just said there. Try to unpack that. I think you're either on mute or there's something going on.
Oh,
there we go.
My bad. You just
Yeah,
you just missed an unbelievable tactical analysis. It was really, I don't remember what I said, but it was just otherworldly. So I'll try to remember. You did say a lot of things. I try to take notes vigorously on what you were saying so I can respond properly. But listen, I don't think you're wrong in anything you said. I will just maybe a word of caution. Pump the brakes. I don't want your heart to break later down the road when you're not playing Valladolid again, who were a complete black hole defensively.
But Valladolid, who have been strong at home, Kiyan, let's give Valladolid credit where it is due. They've been picking up their points at home. They've been a strong team at home and also scoring goals.
Fine. That's fine. I also don't know if I think if we were to start players like Roque Mesa and Fabian Oriana and Sergio Guardiola from the start, maybe it's a different ballgame. I don't know. I actually thought Oriana in particular made a difference when he came on the field, and it took some godly Ter Stegen saves to keep him out. But I think that's besides the point. I thought, to me, there was a clear after the 2-0. That's when, for me, it looked like Valladolid just hung their heads. That was it. Their press stopped. So here's a kind of before and after to me was the 2-0. So before the 2-0, I thought Valladolid were pretty aggressive in their press. They made Barcelona uncomfortable. They forced Ter Stegen into a couple giveaways, hounding De Jong when he got the ball, making Barca play backwards. And even the couple times they broke, I thought Barca were actually kind of slow in transition. They scored the first 0 where Javi Sanchez falls asleep. With a heavy heart, I say that Javi Sanchez, a Real Madrid Castilla product who I really liked at Castilla. After that, when he went to Valladolid, just didn't play, and now he's part of the rotation and not a Real Madrid player anymore. Left Longley free completely. The 2-0 was just incredible build-up between Pjanic, Messi, and the way Messi just sucked in everyone into a vortex and then played Braithwaite through. After that, after they conceded the second goal, I thought Valladolid just hung their heads. Their pressing stopped. They had to give away nearly seconds after Braithwaite makes it 2-0 that Messi nearly scores from. And that was it. I mean, from there was Barca smooth sailing. And you look at Messi's line.
It was Messi passing it to Des, though.
Oh, right. Messi, Des to Braithwaite. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've seen Messi fans slowly just come out of the cave the last couple games. After Valencia, where Messi scored, you could kind of see them opening the cave door, just peeping out to see, a little bit of leg cracking through. They're my eyes. And then tonight, Messi, 10 shots from Messi, okay? 10 shots, 3 key passes, 4 completed dribbles, 1 goal, 1 assist. Messi fans just taking that boulder aside now. We're here, baby. Messi's back. The GOAT is back. So you saw a lot of that guy. And I just want to say,
Messi was feeling it
congrats.
tonight.
Congrats to everybody. Congrats to Messi and his fans. Look, the whole team was good. They kind of fed up that Messi energy. Pjanic, again, was amazing. You mentioned Des. We mentioned Des, Pedri. All of those guys. Mingueza, between Mingueza and
Araujo.
You want to? I know you're just itching to correct my pronunciation on Mingueza. So do you want to do that now? I know it's eating you up inside. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mingueza. Mingueza.
Mingueza. Mingueza. I thought Mingueza had really important intervention in both the first and the second half when Valladolid were attacking in transition. He had 7 interceptions tonight as a whole. I actually think between him and Araujo, Araujo is the better prospect. Again, I don't know much about these kids other than what I've seen from them playing with the Barca senior side this year. Haven't seen them before that, but I thought Araujo is kind of like more promising, more interesting to me. But Mingueza played really well.
You want me to give you a little
tonight?
Do you mind if I just interject real quick to give you a little story on a background story on Araujo?
Please.
So I mentioned it on the last pod, the solo pod, but because a couple people were laughing when, or this is on Twitter rather, not on a live pod, when there's mentioning that Araujo is actually compared to Puyol. Now, similar to when Pedri is compared to Iniesta, a lot of this information actually come from within the Barça camp, where yes, people like or players like Pedri or Araujo are actually compared to legends, club legends in this case of Iniesta and Puyol. Now, not that does not necessarily limit that comparison to their style of play. Pedri does have a lot in common with Iniesta, as does Araujo with Puyol. Maybe less so in the case of Araujo and Puyol, but it also comes down to the character. And usually that is what, within the Barca camp, a story is being floated around, Kiyan, which is really quite cool to hear, because people cannot stop saying enough good words about this kid Araujo. When it comes to like his dedication to his team, the sacrifice for his teammates, how he stands up for his teammates, and his compromiso, his dedication as well to his teammates, in particular to Barça B, which is where until this point he has of course played most of his time, right? Now the thing is that apparently last season Setien was reserving Araujo along with Ansu Fati, as well as, and I'm not entirely sure about Riqui Puig, but I think there was the third name was Riqui Puig, and he didn't want them to play with the Barça B team, the Barça B that was playing for promotion rather, for promotion battle. So it was an important game for Barça B. Now Ansu and Puig, again, I'm not 100% sure about Puig, I know about Ansu, did not play that game with Barça B. Kind of, I don't want to say leaving soldier behind. I don't want to say left their teammates behind. But, let's just say for the diehard Barça B fans, which they do exist, and good on them. There's fanatical fans of all categories and all sports, and that's great. So I'm just saying, amongst the most hardcore Barça B fans, that didn't sit well with them. The fact that regular Barça B players didn't want to show up for their important clash against, I think it was, I don't know if it was Dam, or I forget who their opponent was. In any case, important match for promotion for Barça B. Araujo did play for Barça B, and Araujo did get injured. He injured himself, therefore, scratching himself off of the list to continue to play with the first team in the Champions League. Leo Messi called Araujo and told him that he was proud of him and that he would have done the same thing. Pretty much, not just ever since then, but even before then, the reports on Araujo when it comes to these kind of traits, similar to Carles Puyol, that the coaches take note of those things, teammates take note of those things, and he seems to be just a class act, a stand-up dude, and a player that is well liked in the dressing room. So again, hopefully, Barca has found a central defender that is given the opportunity in the minutes when the time is right, and so far I think, as you mentioned as well, a great prospect, and if you want to compare him to Mingueza, the better prospect as well for that matter.
That's great. Heartwarming story. Another heartwarming story that I have for you. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are. Umtiti made an appearance today. I forgot honestly, I often forget that he is in the Barcelona squad. Have you lost hope for him? Do you feel like he's going to be a contributor, like back to maybe not like let's say if we get like 90% of old Umtiti, do you think that that's still on the table, or you think it's not going to come back to what it was?
No, I think
No.
Umtiti. I'm not. Who am I to speak in the name of a professional footballer I've never met in my entire life and only seen on the screen or in the stadium? But my sensation, my gut feeling, my hunch is that the story of Umtiti and Barça needs to finish as soon as possible if the club wishes to gain any monetary returns on their investment. He's a player that is high on the salary list, so and just right now, again, we're talking about, we mentioned names like Araujo and Mingueza with Longley, Piqué. Todibo is still officially a Barca player, even though things in Portugal are not seemingly going his way whatsoever. I don't think Umtiti has a place really on this team, and again, not necessarily doesn't have a place, but I think it's just in everybody's interest, particularly in Barca, the dire situation they're in, is try to cash in on players that could still, die iets op kunnen leveren, that can offer some rendimiento, some goods, let's say, financial goods.
Okay, well, good luck with that. We'll see. I don't know what the market is for somebody like him, but
I mean, even if it's just passing, like getting his wage, giving up his wage, I think that would already be a plus at this point. The guy's had so many injuries to his knees and things, so it just doesn't look good.
I think like we've taken this game, we've like taken the cloth and squeezed every little bit of juice out of it. I think I could squeeze a little bit more.
How long has it been?
Half an hour. Half an hour.
What time is it for you? Feels like we're just warming up the motors here.
I'm good to go. I just want to know what else you want to say about this game. I could squeeze a little bit more out of it.
Nothing, man.
But
all I would say is if you want to have my final sort of statement, I guess, is just recognize when something has been done well. We managed to pick up 3 important points. We saw some very good team and individual performances as well. I think Masi prevented this from being auténtico slaughterhouse that it could have been. And other than that, we saw earlier today how the current 2020-21 La Liga champions managed to dismantle Real Sociedad in a very authoritative manner. All in all,
Marcos Llorente scoring with his left foot today.
Yeah,
I think the only thing that's left is for him to start towering.
Did that get a
people,
deflection though? Was that deflected? I knew you'd get a boner when you saw Llorente do that. But listen, I mean, that was all Coque Suarez taking that ball on. I think he was looking for Carrasco and it got a deflection. Great for Llorente though. For
Carrasco was great again. Carrasco has been amazing. He's been a revelation. If you look at Carrasco's numbers, this is his peak. This is the best year of his career. He's been like every single metric across the board. He has improved. The eye test looks good. I mean, he's playing left wing back now, on and off. He's putting some of the passes he's putting into the box are genuinely incredible to watch. So that team, that 2021 champions, I had to think about that for a second. But look, you said it, and I'm not going to necessarily disagree.
They're back. I mean, a great return for Simeone's dudes after dropping massive points in the derby, beating Elche, and now Real Sociedad in very convincing manner. I mean, they bounced back. They could have been ugly. I was a little nervous there on my on my prediction, so I'm sticking with it.
Well, you did say before the derby that it's possible Real Madrid would win it, but that doesn't make a difference for your prediction.
Yeah, but it was the matter in which though. But just happy they bounced back.
I see some sweat beads just coming down your forehead. Thinking about Real Madrid's last 3-4 games, huh?
A little bit.
Interesting. No, I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, we haven't really talked about Real Madrid much since the derby, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a little What is this? Is this real, or is it one of those Zizou runs where we're like looking back on this, like we're looking at it in March and we'll be like, hey, that's when it all started. They've just been on a tear since then, or is this going to normalize soon?
They have. I mean, look, give credit where it is due. Like I said, and I can't give any credit away, or can't take any credit away from Zizou. And I gotta give credit for all of those boys, in particular, Lucas Vazquez, Benzema as well has been looking fantastic. Modric has been just empirical and looking like a rejuvenated version of himself. Madrid's looking good, looking very solid, and is making me eat my words up a little bit, which I don't like to do. I'm not the kind of person that likes to eat my own words up. They don't taste good. I've had stomach problems. It doesn't sit well with me. So, but I'm happy to do so if it makes Kiyan smile like he just did. So, no, man. I think are Real Madrid in the running? They're certainly not out of it. You cannot discard Real Madrid out of any competition until the fat lady sings. And it's nearly 1 a.m. over here in San Cuat, and no fat lady is singing. So that means that Real Madrid is still in the running for anything. And
Maybe
start
you're
waking up
just
some
in the
fat
wrong
people.
neighborhood. You need to go find you a neighborhood where a fat lady sings at 1 a.m.
I need to.
You're in the wrong neighborhood. Okay, so I had I had a couple of questions just looking at from a patron, which I think will be interesting to take. So Brendan Powers, by the way, patreon.com/churros y tacticas. That's where you get the real like the real raw churros. It's just we're just kind of like we're just kind of messing around here. But on
my
Patreon
God.
shows it's
My computer's
business.
showing me I have 1% all of a sudden. This could cut out at any second. I have 1% battery.
Disaster.
My computer went from
Can
25.
you plug it in?
Yeah, I need to run and get the charger. Hold up.
All right, you go. I'll keep this podcast alive. Go.
Going.
All right. As Diego gets up and leaves, and right now I'm looking at a screen. It's just pitch black with some pillows. He's outside in his balcony, assuming because he doesn't want to wake his family up. It's late there. I guess I might as well talk to you about some stuff. Today we recorded the Lone Tracker with Matt. We were having a ball, just kind of discussing everything with Arteta and Arsenal, everything that's going on there. And today, Arsenal lost 4-1. And I'm just kind of waiting for Arteta to drop the next math equation. By the way, if you look at Diego's screen really closely, you can kind of see like stars flickering. I think I see Jupiter and Saturn together. Tell me if I'm tripping, you guys on YouTube. So Diego's back. Welcome back, my friend. You going inside? Oh, that's a much better backdrop. All right. Well, while Diego gets set up in a much more beautiful backdrop, that's like actually like a sick thing. I also did just want to talk about Real Madrid and stuff, and because I think one of the direction we wanted to go in was to really podcast was meant to go in the direction of Koeman versus Zidane, because that was a thing that happened. So today Zidane was asked about Koeman's comments, and Zidane responded, said he was annoyed with what Koeman said about Real Madrid and the referee. And so I want to ask Diego about that. So to recap, Koeman was talking about the call that Real Madrid got, where Ramos gets the ball, hitting his elbow in the box against Eibar. And he was saying that 9 referees out of 10 would have called that a penalty, and that one wasn't called. And Zidane said today he was annoyed by those comments. So I
read that. I heard that.
Yeah. So I don't even know what I said while you were gone. I just mind. I talked about Arteta. I talked about Arsenal. I talked about the stars. I talked about your backdrop. And then I talked about Zidane. I actually do want to talk about Zidane and Koeman. And ask you about that.
I love the comments.
Yeah, so what were your saw that quote. I thought I reserved judgment. I was going to wait and discuss that with you.
I love it. I see. I'm just looking at the comments here. Taps saying get the adapter as soon as possible. Gary saying raw churros. I like it. Yeah, that you guys know what you get with your churros, right? You get a lot of this. That's why I like to say that we have La Liga chatter here, just an informal chat about unimportant things in life. But things that keep us entertained and keep us smiling. What did I think about Koeman's statements? Well, what do you want me to say, man? It's I agree. That should have been called a handball. But what are you gonna do? It's that was a handball.
Okay.
That was not a handball.
I actually don't have it. Well, I think that one could have gone either way. I didn't I didn't defend the non-penalty much in the podcast. I think actually all of us in the podcast basically said it could have been called a penalty. We didn't really defend against it vehemently or for it. At the same time, we also just did not bring up the fact that Real Madrid should have had 2 penalties against Athletic the game before. So we just kind of didn't bring it up at all. But it's just weird to me that we don't even bring this stuff up, and then Koeman's bringing it up for us. Like just focus on your shit.
No. See, that's where you cannot hold a manager accountable when he is asked about certain plays in other games. If he says, I don't want to comment.
You can just be Zidane and just exude class and be like, I don't want to talk about it.
No, my friend. You see, this whole notion that Zizou doesn't talk about referees is about as BS as any manager saying that they don't talk about referees until calls start going against their team and hindering their progress or their way to achieving their objective. Zizou has talked in the past about referees. Florentino most certainly has many times talked about referees in the past, as has Butragueño. Oh, of course he has. So everybody talks about referees when the decisions fall against their interest, and Zizou is no exception to that rule. It's just that lately, more often than not, decisions have gone his way, so he keeps a tight lip, which right, I understand. As did, for example, let's say Pep Guardiola during the time where more often than not Barca were on let's say the not shit end of a stick when it came to calls going Barca's way. There was a time where Barca were being heavily favored. Or maybe heavily favored is not the right word, but yeah, calls going their way that you could argue either one way or the other or not. So now that Koeman, his back is up against the ropes and things are getting hot under the collar, if he's getting asked about, I think, a clear decision that should have been called a penalty, because was it Piqué against? Was it Betis, which was an identical play? I forget which team we were playing, but Piqué basically had his hand up. It was this season, and it was a photo comparison between the two plays, and it was called a penalty against Barca. And you can put Barca next to that picture, but you could put all of the other teams in La Liga in that picture as well, where calls would have been fallen, or calls would have been made for the penalty, and in this case it didn't, and it just happens to be Real Madrid, and Have there been other times where Madrid should have gotten the penalty? Yeah, sure, but many times also they've been on the other end, and that's just a fact. I think I see no controversy in saying that yes, that should have been a penalty, and just calling it like it is.
No, so here's what. Let me just bring up a counter to what you're saying, okay?
Okay.
So after the Athletic game, because you're saying Zidane, if it benefits him, then he doesn't comment on it. Against Athletic, the team should have had 2 penalties, and he didn't bring it up once in the post.
No, wait. No. What I said was he maybe now, like over the past recent seasons, he's keeping a tight lip because more often than not decisions fall his way. But in past seasons, I mean, was 3 seasons or 4 seasons ago, I can pull up articles where Zizou has in fact criticized, referee calls. Even as back in the Supercopa, I think I remember where Zizou said, well, the calls are not going our way, or criticizing the referee for whatever reason it was. I don't remember now. I can pull them up. And if the patrons are interested, for the evidence, I can either dedicate time to do it now, or I can pull them up for the next podcast. But Zizou has criticized in the past.
Do it now.
I'll do it now, coño. Venga, va, lo hago ya. Ya está. A ver.
No, listen. I'm sure that you're not making that up out of your ass. I mean, feel free to look it up. I've been, unfortunately, at almost every Zizou conference, any post game show. Ewan goes to the premium ones. I don't go to those, but I don't remember many times, if any. So the typical Zidane thing after the game is he's asked, "What about this decision? What about that decision?" And he has the same copy paste answer. He says, "I didn't see it. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't."
2017. 2017.
Okay.
Way back. Florentino. Well, I'm just, like I said, in the last recent season. So this season, last season, he's been keeping a tight lip because more often than not, decisions go his way. But before that, he did. 2017, he said, "L'unico."
That's too recent. Do you have anything older than that?
He says the only thing I'll say is that they can always improve. Referees can always improve. We can all improve. Me as a manager, I can also make mistakes. I'm directly translating from Spanish, so forgive me. Y no voy a hablar más and I'm not going to talk more about this topic, okay? Todos tienen derecho but we all have a right to talk and say what we want. The president and me as well. Él dice que los árbitros. He says that the referees have to improve, and I agree with him. 2017, Zizou talking about referees having to improve. So, okay. Ya está. Case rested. Okay. I rest my case.
All right. Case rest. Wow. Okay. Let's close that forever. I had a fun patron question for you.
Okay.
So Brennan Powers, our patron, says, and maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't. I'm just seeing it now because I went and checked the patron questions. I had forgotten to do that. Brennan Powers says, who are the top 10 footballers of all time in your opinion? That's question number 1. Question number 2, who are the top 10 rappers of all time in your opinion? What's more fun?
Rappers.
Okay, let's go. Well, I mean, you're the rap guy. I don't know. You're the expert.
Okay, top 10 rappers of all time. Right off of the top of my dome here, huh? Like, I feel bad because I don't want to let anybody out. I'm very sensitive when it comes to this. I'm gonna go Pac and Big, 1 and 2. Then I'll go with Big Pun, and then I'll go with Outkast. I'll go with obviously Dre. Rappers though, right? So beatmaker, I'll put Dre more as a beatmaker. I'll go with Snoop. I'll go with Gangstar. Well, Gangstars. So I'll go with Guru. How many am I on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On 6 already. So just 4 more. Guru. Then I'll go. I mean, I feel so bad because there's so many I love dearly. What would I put in this one? I mean,
so
I'll go so far.
One new, eh? You got to go back old school for all this.
Old school. That's why I gotta put Slick Rick in there. I gotta put Wu-Tang, like the entire.
What about Lil Bow Wow?
Get the fuck out of here! Come on, man. Let's get serious here. Like, I cannot choose. You want me to choose one from Wu-Tang? Stop again. Look, I'm putting Slick in there. I'm gonna put. Who should I put in the Wu-Tang? I mean, I could put.
Did you
Like
say Nas?
Method Man is just my favorite. He might not be the most skilled and best of Wu-Tang, but if I'm gonna choose one from Wu-Tang, it's either between Ghostface, RZA, Meth, Raekwon, the chef. I don't know. I'll go with Method Man just because he's my favorite. Nas, you said it. How many am I on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I don't know. I lost track.
9. One more. Nas. I know everybody wants me to say maybe Jay or Eminem, but my top 10, man, it's reserved for people I just, like, I'll go to the grave for almost. It's very hard, man.
So you got none of the new school rappers in there.
I mean, my top all time, like my 10 all time, my top 10 all time rappers. Yeah, I mean, I could, I guess, put maybe Kendrick. I think of all the guys, your Drakes, your J. Cole's, I would put Kendrick above all those guys. I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. Big, but I still, in my top, all time top 10, I feel like I'm not doing it any justice. I need to prepare for this, but definitely, Pac, Big, huh? I'm not doing terrible.
You're doing terrible, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're doing good. This is on the spot. You didn't think this through. I put you on the spot.
No whatsoever. Sorry. And again, I feel very. I mean, my stomach churn, kind of. I get my stomach in a knot when I make a list like this on the spot because I don't want to leave. Like anytime we get these kind of questions, the next day I'll be like, "Fuck, I did not think of this or I did not think of that." That's why. Look, I gotta put one more West Coast rapper in there because the West Coast was just massively influential. So. E40.
No one from the Straight Outta Compton crew. Oh, you had Dre.
I know I have Snoop. I had to take Dre out because Dre is more of a beat maker for me.
Okay.
But yeah, Death Row, fucking Corrupt. I'm gonna leave it at 9. The 10. Goody Mob. I'm gonna put Goody Mob. Nah, because already I got Goody Mob. Okay, Goody Mob.
So. The great Eminem one.
Of Outkast in there. Eminem.
It goes Reggie,
Cypress Hill.
Jay-Z,
Cypress Hill.
and Biggie. Oh, Cypress Hill is a good one. But you cut me off from my Eminem quote.
Sorry.
The great Eminem once said it goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie. Andre from Outkast, Jada, Corrupt, Nas, and then me. Agree or disagree? You disagree, obviously. Look, I think we had a whole rap discussion a couple of episodes ago, and I kind of told you when I started to, late 90s when Eminem first dropped his first song, I was like not even 10 or something. I can't remember. So that's my timeline. You are much more ingrained in this culture than I was. So mine will be a lot of like new generation type people. So my playlist consists a lot of J. Cole, a lot of Drake, a lot of who's that? Who's the one we discussed that we both liked?
You mentioned J. Cole,
New
Drake.
Age. J. Cole. There was one that we loved. Ty Dolla $ign. His new album is great. Eminem, by the way, Eminem just released a new album like a few days ago. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it.
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's on Apple Music. It's not bad. He has some bangers in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Top 10 footballers of all time. Do you want to do this right now? It's actually not that difficult to do, but do you want to?
Well, listen, I went first. Let me make this one. You put me on a spot. You put yourself on a spot, and I'll fill my one in accordingly.
Sure. Okay, so I'm just writing them down.
I'm already halfway done, huh? But I want you to go first this time.
All right, no particular order. Ronaldo, Messi, Di Stefano, Pelé, Maradona, Cruyff. That's 6. After that, I have a lot of thoughts and opinions, and I think so those 6 are locks to me, like absolute locks. Like you can't They cannot be ousted out of the top six. Okay. After then, it gets a little bit more interesting to me and debatable because we start to get into more subjective things. We have to talk about a wide range of things like their longevity, their peak. Someone like Ronaldinho, if he was at his peak for 10 years, he's a top 10 player. Zidane, if he's more consistent, he's a top 10 player. But I don't think Zidane goes in the top 10, probably not. Um, and Ronaldo Nazario, if he doesn't have any injuries, he could be a top 5 player. But he's had some injuries. So those are my top 6. I'm going to just throw those out there, and I'm gonna let you, if you want. Do you have anyone outside the top 6 that I didn't mention that you think has to be in the top 10?
Absolutely.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Well, now I just forgot which one you mentioned, though. If I'm really honest.
Messi, Ronaldo, Pele, Maradona, Cruyff. Those are my locks that have to be there.
Okay,
After
here we
that,
go.
I really think it gets a little bit subjective and we prefer for the remaining 4 spots.
All right, here we go. Bergman, Van Basten, Xavi, and Iniesta.
Van Basten, top 10? Who was the first one you mentioned?
Bergman. Dennis Bergkamp.
Bergman.
Sorry. Bergkamp.
Oh,
Bergkamp.
wow.
Yes.
Jeez. Dennis Bergkamp.
Absolutely.
Wow, that is, come on. That's a little bit too, this is a little bit too much Dutch love for me. I love my Dutchies, but
no, come on. Bergkamp, without a doubt. He was magical, man. If it wasn't for injuries, the guy technically was on another level. If it wasn't for his injuries, if it wasn't for his the weird traumas and phobias that he had, he was just a phenomenal player. Just such a joy to watch.
Well, what was the phobia was the flying, right? Outside of the flying, he didn't have it, and he still got on the plane and went, didn't he?
No, he never got planes. That's
but
why
I mean, he would still go to away games just by a different route.
Yes,
is that not correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he's fine. So I love Dennis Bergkamp.
I thought you said Bergman. It's like a family.
He's phenomenal.
Sorry, go on.
I love the guy. I love Dennis. I love Uncle Dennis.
Come on, man.
You just so here are the footballers you put Dennis Bergkamp, as great as he was, and if nothing else, aesthetically breathtaking. So you took Bergkamp over Ronaldinho, over
no, he's in
Puskás.
there. No, he's in there.
Oh,
no,
you had Ronaldinho in there?
You asked me name the ones that I didn't name, and you named 6. So yeah, I have Messi, Ronaldo Nazario, Dinho, Cruyff, Maradona, Xavi, Van Basten, Iniesta, Bergkamp, and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay. So you had so here, and you had Maradona in there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you had Bergkamp over Zidane. You had Bergkamp over Ferenc Puskás, Gerd Müller, Romario.
Oh yeah.
Eusebio Garrincha.
Bergkamp wiped the floor with Romario, man. Wiped the floor.
Romario was just a better goal scorer.
Yeah, but Bergkamp was technically more gifted. He was all in all. He had the full package. He had everything. He had skill. He had vision. He had passing. He had scoring ability. He was phenomenal, Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp, baby. Bergkamp.
I would take Luis Suarez over Bergkamp.
Luis Suarez over Bergkamp?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a goal scorer for an authentic number 9, then yeah, I get that. But if you're looking for, a playmaker and a goal scorer and finisher, Dennis Bergkamp.
That's
I was close to putting Seedorf ahead of Iniesta almost. Can you imagine?
Oh, what do you? Stop. This is too much. This is just getting
Seedorf.
out of control.
Seedorf, man.
I'm always on board with love for Bergkamp or Seedorf. This is absurd. You cannot put them in the top 10. I've never heard of anyone doing that. I think it's crazy. I think it's
I
wild.
did
But
it.
hey,
It
we
was
need
close.
crazy wild people in this world. Great player though. Okay, so anything
Lifted
else,
more
Diego,
Champions
before we
League
wrap it up?
trophies with different teams than any other player has in the history of
did.
football.
He did. Okay,
And have you seen it? He
uh,
still looks like he's a young man, a 20-year-old, a young 20-year-old man. Looks phenomenal. Takes care of
and I will
himself.
always remember for him being the first manager to have fully trusted Fede Valverde at the senior level. And Valverde got injured at Depor. Is Seedorf coaching anywhere still? After his Depor stint, he went to
Yeah. I don't know.
Cameroon national team. He's not coaching anyone anymore.
No. Somebody saying Stefan
Yeah.
Figas is saying you're living in nostalgia, Diego. That is absolutely true. If there's one way to describe me is I'm permanently living in nostalgia. I do like to reminisce over you. Here's another one in my top 10. Troy, baby. CL Smooth and Pete Rock. All-time top 10.
Okay. Great.
Hey, we
I will
did. I
take
feel
your
like
word for it.
we didn't pay much attention to our loyal viewers here. I don't know if massive question. We did take some Patreon questions, but yeah, thanks for coming out, boys and girls, mainly boys, I assume. Are we wrapping this up, Kiyan? It is 1:20 in the a.m. This has been a long, good old churro sesh, huh?
It's been good. I think after this, I'm going to spend some time on my book. I'm going to watch a couple games if I can squeeze them in that I missed today. So I got a long night ahead of me. I'm totally okay with wrapping it up here at about the hour mark. And this is cool. The live thing is cool. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I think we should do more. On Friday, we'll be back, right? We commit to that. So we have some games to talk about still midweek. Real Madrid plays tomorrow against Granada. I love how for like the first time we did a live show, it was for Valladolid. Like, why couldn't, if it was done like after Bayern 8-2, the ratings would have been through the roof, man. We should have calculated that a little better.
No,
but hey,
we wanted to test
like
this. We wanted to test
That's
this.
true.
We've been talking about
it.
wanting to do this. So now for the next one, we'll be fully prepared.
You're inside your house now, right?
Yes, which I'm
now you know
wondering
the
whether
spot
I'm
of where you're
screaming.
supposed to sit for ultimate connection and laptop charging and all that.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm now uncomfortably close to where my kiddos are sleeping, and I don't want to be. I could, send one of the kids awake and then be up for the next 2 hours. So, in fact, with these noise canceling headphones, I don't know how loud I've been screaming. The fact that my wife hasn't barged in here yet and given me shit is a great sign, but not something
Either
that we
that
can rely on.
or when you when you walk inside, it's just going to be chaos. It's like a tornado, and like you couldn't hear any of it because you had your headphones on.
Oh, so yeah, exactly. Who knows?
All right. Well, I just realized that Friday is actually is it not Christmas on Friday?
We're not doing shit on Friday.
No, yeah. Friday is literally Christmas Day. We're not coming doing anything Friday. I don't even celebrate Christmas, but I'm not. To hell if I can have just one day to myself doing nothing. That'd be great.
Totally.
So,
we're not doing shit.
So yeah,
we'll be back.
Is Christmas a big thing in your place?
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive, of course. Yeah.
I see some. Oh no, no, that's not a Christmas tree and some ornaments. It's just a. Oh, there it is. There we go, baby. Beautiful.
The lights are off. Sorry.
Looks great.
We try to be very conservative with the electricity. Electricity in Spain is ridiculously expensive. Let me tell you that.
There's someone in the chat. He's asked 2 times now. upload this podcast, the audio version, because it's almost 6 a.m. in India right now. He's been asking this a couple times. We haven't answered him. Yeah, go to bed. Don't worry. We'll upload this. You're good. You're fine. And I mean, look, if you leave now, it doesn't matter anyway. The podcast is over. So appreciate you tuning in, and go get some sleep. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Churros to Tacticas live YouTube video bringing out everybody from across the world. It's nice to see. So thank you for your support. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your holidays, your Hanukkah, your what's the Seinfeld one? Festivus for the rest of us. Enjoy all of that.
What is the other one they celebrate, like the African Americans? Kwanzaa.
Right. Yes. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy everything, no matter where you are. And enjoy. Stay safe. I don't, Diego. I assuming you're gonna end the live YouTube thing, and I'm gonna press end over here. Stop recording.
Yes.
And we'll catch you guys on the flip side of Christmas. Take care.
Exactly. Thank you guys, and tune in again. Make sure you share all the goodness with your friends and family, and enjoy the holidays. Peace out.
Churros.
Churritos.
Care, guys.
Need to find the stop button. I'll get to it.